This video is sponsored by Ozio Medical. And when it comes to survival and medical items, probably the #1 question I get from people is, hey Jason, how do I get prescription medications? How do I get antibiotics and all that kind of stuff if the grid goes down? You know, hey, I went to my doctor and I told my doctor, like, will you please give me a multi-month supply of X, Y, or Z medication? They said, no, I can't do that. And so people are always reaching out to me. Well, guess what? It is much easier than people think. You don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to like do anything. You don't have to leave your home. I'm gonna tell you how I do it. Because I'm a former CIA officer. I know how important it is to have the right meds when you're in places where you can't go get meds or where there's no pharmacies or anything like that. But at the same time, I myself have many medical problems. What I mean by that is, like, growing up, I was the bubble boy. I was allergic to weed. I was allergic to milk. I was always having problems. And even to this day, I don't have the world's best health. I've had 2 kidney stone surgeries. I just had a hernia surgery. Yeah, so I want to make sure, and I get sinus infections like crazy. I get sinus infections like clockwork every few months. So I want to make sure I have antibiotics for all this type of stuff. And again, when the grid goes down, when we have the blackout and all that, you're not going to be able to run to Walmart or Walgreens or CVS or whatever it is. So first, here's what I do. Here's what I recommend you do. Is one, have some type of medical bag like this, right? You get these medical bags. They're going to have gauze in it. They're going to have burn cream. They're going to have, like, this is a gauze refill. They're going to have a blood pressure cuff. I'm just looking at some of the other stuff. All these kind of things, right? And that is great. You should absolutely have one of these. I have a cat tourniquet because you should have a tourniquet as part of your medical kit. You should have excuse me, I can't even speak right now. An Israeli bandage as part of your medical kit. And all this is wonderful. All this is great. You should have it. But again, when you buy one of these kits, wherever you buy it online, they don't come with medications. They don't come with antibiotics. So that's where I use Ozio Medical. That's where they come in. So what I like about them is there are other companies that do this, but they're way overpriced, and it's not, I want to say it's a ripoff. It's just, they're way overpriced, right? This is much more affordable, and you can pick and choose what you want. So I'm going to tell you what I just got from them, some of the medications. Also, what I highly recommend is, and I have a book with all the different things, like, hey, what is this medication for? Because guess what? In a crisis situation, you need to be able to just open the book and see. Your brain is going to be in caveman mode. You're not going to remember 10,000 things. Of course, I left the book in my other location, so I don't have it right now, and we're not going to use my flip phone. I'm going to borrow somebody else's smartphone. So let's show you what I got in these medications. And the reason I like this too is it doesn't take up a lot of space. I can just throw it in my bug out bags and one of my various kits, and I don't have to worry about it, again, weighing me down or, anything out of the ordinary, anything unnecessary. So let's get to it. Let's see what the first thing I got to refresh my memory. Doxycycline, Doxy. Okay, we're gonna go here. I know the medical professionals are gonna rattle off exactly what it is. And by the way, remember, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. This isn't any kind of that. I'm just showing you what I personally do. I've got a wife, I've got 7 kids. I want to be prepared for a crisis situation. And if something happens, especially because I got young kids, I didn't have kids until after I left the CIA. And for instance, my 5-year-old son has already been to the emergency room 4 times, broken bones, stitches, all that kind of stuff. But if they get an infection, I want to have this stuff to be able to take care of them. So again, what I personally do, not medical advice, not a doctor. All right, so we're the doxycycline. Okay, so what is it for? And again, you want to have this written in the book like I do, which I don't have with me right now, it's in the other location. Okay, it says it can treat and prevent infections. It can also treat severe acne, prevent malaria, yada, yada, yada. Okay, may treat Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Fun fact, Lyme disease. But yes, for infections, there you go. Okay, next on the list. So have some doxycycline. Next on the list is, and I know I'm gonna butcher these, but I don't mind. Banofin. Okay, let's go there. Banofin. Okay. Can treat pain and itching caused by insect bites, minor cuts, burns, poison ivy, poison oak. I am allergic as crap to poison ivy. I get within 10 feet of it. It covers me. I hate poison ivy. My kids, on the other hand, they got their mom's genes. They're lucky. So they go run through the poison ivy and they get nothing. But I kid you not, I got, what did I get poison ivy from? The baseball went in there and I got it on my hand and it's finally just going away. Anyways, so yes, this is good stuff. Brands of this, which you may know, is Benadryl and that kind of stuff. So children's allergy stuff. Anyway, good thing to have. Okay, a few more here, not too many more. Amoxicillin, okay, good antibiotic. I use this for my sinus infections because, like I said, I have brutal sinus problems, so I had some of that. That one I actually don't need to look up. That's one of them. Metro, not gonna work here anymore. Metronidazole. Okay, Let's check it out. Metronidazole. All right, treats various infections, including certain types of vaginal infections. It can also treat skin redness and pimples. So not something I'm gonna need, but my daughters and wife might need it. Now I know I ordered that one. Okay, this one is mucus relief. That one I don't need to look up, but yes, again, with all my kids, with all my nose and sinus problems, important to have. Here we have celecoxib. Okay, let's look it up. Celecoxib. I know, again, all you doctors are having a field day like,
Jason, I know what that is.
It is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug used to treat mild to moderate pain and help relieve symptoms of arthritis. There you go, relieve joint pain. 3 more here. Ondansetron. And my sister-in-law's a nurse, and my mother-in-law's a nurse, and they can tell you what all these are. This one's got too many videos popping up here. Just tell me what it is. How come this one pops up like 8 million things and doesn't tell me what it is? Let's see. Way too many pictures. Show me what the heck it actually is. I hit something wrong? Why am I only seeing photos? What is going on? Hold on, we're going back. I must have hit something. I must have hit something unbeknownst to me. Okay, going back. Dan. Okay. I think we're finally gonna be back in business. All right, this one is, it can prevent nausea and vomiting. So I've probably used this a million times. Zofran, yes, Zofran. Because when I get my when I get my kidney stones, and I feel like I'm gonna vomit or get sick. So Zofran is a brand most people know. But yes, this is important stuff. I would definitely have this. Again, whatever, it's just the Zofran, just whatever the generic version is. But this is certainly an important one because you don't want to walk around feeling like you're gonna vomit and puke the whole time. Okay, 2 more. Loper something. Loper. L-O-P-E-R. All right, this beauty is a medicine to treat diarrhea. Runny poo in parentheses. Okay, again, another important thing, if you've ever been sick in a crisis situation or been sick, which I have in certain times where you should be on your A game, you'll want something like that to make you feel better because you know how much diarrhea can bring you down. And cephalexin. Cephalexin is, again, why am I seeing pictures? This is annoying me. What do I keep hitting? Okay, here we go. Treats infections, urinary tract infections, kidney infections, impetigo. So treats infections, there you go. Important to have. And then the last 2 things here, I'm gonna turn them this way because I don't want you to see my personal info on it. This is azithromycin, you know what I'm trying to say. It's the Zpack. I love these. I've used this all so many times for my sinus infections. So the Zpack, and this one is for stomach. So it just says SM stomach relief. Okay, yes. That might seem like a lot of medications. It is until you can't get to the pharmacy and your family is severely sick and they had an infection, you need some antibiotics or something. So this is one of these things where I realize it's not like a knife or a gun or some super ninja tactical gear, but you're more likely to need this than you probably are your gun. So I have a lot of this stuff. This is not the only medications I have for my family, but I highly recommend you do it too. And to get some of this stuff, which I highly recommend, go to oziomedical.com or click the link in the description. Use coupon code JASON for 10% off and grab some of this today before it's too late. And also remember what I just went over here. These are the generic versions. So I mentioned one of them was Zofran as a brand name. This is the generic version, works the same, but it is much, much cheaper. So that's why I like Ozio Medical, because it's much more affordable for everybody, which is why I'm able to stock up on a lot for my family. So real quick, how it works is all you do is you go to the website, you fill out the form, a doctor looks it over. You don't have to go into a medical office. You literally don't have to leave your home. It is super, super simple. So you can do everything online via your computer.